let's check out the week view control, part of WinSchedule, Windows Forms Controls and Components in your NetAdvantage toolset for Windows Forms. So when I click on this one here, let's run it and let's take a look at what it looks like by default. So I hard-coded the creation of 2 owners and 2 appointments, and let's just focus on this one here because I have other controls on this form as well. So let's just look at the week view control. So right now there's an appointment for Jason and an appointment for Tom. So like when I double click on one of these guys, you notice that that one's the one I set up for Jason. So in other words, the owners collection of the Ultra Calendar Info component has 2 members, Jason and Tom, and then the appointments collection has 2 separate appointments. One of them is keyed with Jason's primary key and one of them is keyed with Tom's primary key, so they show up like this. Now let's go back into design mode and let's look at Visual Studio. So one way you can change this is by going to the owner's display style, and let's say if we go to separate, and when we run this, let's see how that looks. So this loads up, and now we have basically the unassigned owner here, and then when we click on this we get a drop down. So it's kind of like a little tricky UI that if you have to look for this little drop down icon, because we're now looking at the unassigned owners stuff, but then we could look at Tom Puglisi's stuff by clicking on that one, and then Jason Vera's appointments, and notice the different colors that are assigned. You could assign different appearance objects to the various owners if you like. So that's how you can do that. And let's go back to design mode, and then we go to separate, and then back to merge. That's how it was before. There's also different types of navigation styles. So let's say if we go with separate, and then we have a drop down, we have a scroll bar, drop down, and scroll bar, so scroll button. So let's try one of these guys out. Just some property settings that all you do is pick the one that you like the best, and you're good to go. So here we have scroll buttons. So when I maximize this, I can scroll through the owners like this and scroll back. So that's if you want to show just one owner at a time, or if you want to, it depends if you want to merge them, so that way you see everything at once. So again, this is the week view. It shows 1 week's worth of data. There's also a couple of other properties that you could set on here, like time display style is time 24 or 12 hours, or just a clock mode. So there's different ways of doing this. There's also a couple of other things I wanted to show you here. You also have the day display style here. Its default is auto, which actually resolves to full. This is an enumeration, so it's full, medium, and look at what happens here, and then short. This is the short version. So I just leave it as auto, let the system resolve it to whatever it is, which is full, without explicitly setting it. And that's essentially some of the quick properties that you'll most likely set as soon as you throw it onto the form. And just to show you real quick, let me go into the code view. I have a method that's called load schedule data that's being called whenever the form loads, and again, it's not the best way to build an enterprise app, but I'm just doing it for this sample to throw some data in there. So I'm adding owners to the ultracalendar.info.owners collection, and the primary key, and then the user-friendly string here is what I'm using to populate the owner objects. Then I'm creating one appointment keyed to Tom P, and another appointment keyed to Jason B. And then these 2 appointments show up in the various different ways that I just displayed now. So now you know how the week view works within WinSchedule. Now you can get to using this in your application as well.
Infragistics. On the web at infragistics.com.